Only a few hours before, Roman Reigns and an unexpected visitor attended the funeral of his father, Sika. Paul Heyman, who was hospitalized following an attack by the Bloodline, has had a major update regarding his health as a result of this incident. We'll discuss Roman's father's funeral and offer you the most recent information on Paul Heyman in today's video. Following their viewing of SmackDown's most recent broadcast in Toronto over Money in the Bank weekend last week, fans expressed serious concerns regarding Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman was powerbombed through the commentator's desk during the broadcast, and he was later brought to the hospital. Fans were concerned about his well-being after the incident. The stress surrounding Paul Heyman's health escalated during the broadcast when an update was given by Corey Graves. Reading an ad for a Fanatics show that will take place in mid-August in New York, Graves saw a list of people who would be there, including Paul Heyman. It didn't seem possible that Heyman would be able to take part in the event, which usually requires hours of taking pictures and signing autographs, given that he had only been sent to the hospital a week prior. A noteworthy announcement was made by Corey Graves. Paul Heyman will be in attendance, assuming he has recovered by then. Regarding Paul Heyman's condition, the WWE has only released this one statement, leaving fans to wonder if he will make a full recovery and return to WWE events. Roman Reigns, meanwhile, was going through financial and personal difficulties. Roman had to deal with the Bloodline's aftermath when his father passed away. On SmackDown, Roman's cousin Solo Sikoa, a prominent figure in the Bloodline, proclaimed himself the new tribal chief. By calling out Roman Reigns, Solo effectively questioned his authority. Roman was in the midst of grieving over his father when this momentous event happened. We now have pictures of Roman at the burial, and they show an unexpected visitor, which prompts a significant update regarding Paul Heyman's health. Roman is obviously still active in the WWE because Solo Sikoa wouldn't be confronting him if he didn't think he was returning. Roman Reigns' continuous contract talks are a major factor in his absence from the WWE after WrestleMania 40. Roman may become the highest paid WWE superstar ever with his new contract, which is expected to feature a significant pay rise over Brock Lesnar's $12 million yearly deal. According to reports, Roman may receive guaranteed income of between $15 million and $20 million a year. Roman's appearances are also anticipated to be curtailed by his new deal, which means that going ahead, fans will see him far less frequently. Roman is anticipated to be a babyface when he finally makes his WWE comeback. The chanting, "We want Roman," show that fans are eager for this transformation, in stark contrast to the jeers he faced during his previous stint as a babyface. Fans' previous unfavorable reactions may have been influenced by the writing and booking, which made them feel as like Roman was being forced upon them. But with the feud against Solo Sikoa looming, Roman's successful heel run has opened the door for a potentially even more popular babyface switch. Roman had to endure one of the worst days of his life in order to bury his father before any of this could happen. Pensacola, Florida hosted Sika Anoa'i's funeral. Roman is shown grinning during the funeral, attempting to uplift the mourners' spirits and reassure them that as the new head of the family, he will take care of them. Roman demonstrates his courage and resiliency by working hard to provide for his family during this trying time. Roman, in spite of Solo Sikoa's previous acts against him, sat for a photo with Solo's father, Rikishi, in a particularly moving moment. Roman's capacity to keep personal and professional affairs apart is seen in this gesture, which puts family unity ahead of betrayal. Paul Heyman was the surprisingest attendee at the funeral. Paul Heyman attended the burial despite being hospitalized after the Bloodline attack, and he gave a noteworthy update on his health. Even though the attack's long-term repercussions are unknown, Paul Heyman's ability to walk and stand is promising news. Paul Heyman was spotted standing behind Roman Reigns as Roman gave a family member a hug, despite the fact that the two did not pose arm in arm. The two appeared to be maintaining their alliance based on their modest exchange. It's probable that Roman assisted Paul Heyman in leaving the hospital so he could go to the funeral, suggesting that they would soon make a comeback to WWE together. The fact that Paul Heyman attended the burial gives fans much-needed comfort over his prognosis. The extent of his wounds and any potential long-term effects are still unknown, though. The fact that he was able to stand with the family and attend the funeral indicates that his condition has significantly improved. but it's important to remember that he may still be recovering. A new level of intricacy to the plot is introduced by Solo Sikoa's announcement as the next tribal chief, which further develops the tensions within the bloodline. Fans are eager for Roman Reigns to eventually make a comeback to WWE, especially as a babyface. Making the switch from heel to babyface might revitalize his persona and open up new narrative and rivalry avenues for him inside the Wii. The fact that Roman is negotiating a new contract shows that WWE is serious about keeping him as a top talent. Roman's expanding prominence in the industry and the company's value are reflected in his limited appearances and significant compensation increase. Roman's changing role might be very important in determining how WWE develops going forward as the corporation adjusts to shifting audience preferences and commercial considerations. We fans all over the world will be watching the upcoming feud between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, which is expected to be a high-stakes narrative. This contest will center on the conflict between professional ambition and family loyalty, which presents a wealth of narrative opportunities. Dramatic turns and touching moments are probably in store for Roman's transformation into a babyface and his attempt to unseat Solo as tribal chief. One of the main points of interest in this developing plot is still Paul Heyman's role. Heyman has long been Roman's supporter and has helped to mold Roman's personality and direction in life. Heyman's recuperation and subsequent WWE comeback may have a big impact on Roman's plot and career path. Regardless of whether Heyman sticks with Roman or takes on a different position within the organization, his involvement will surely give the story more complexity and intrigue as it develops. Roman Reigns' fortitude and leadership will be put to the test as he overcomes obstacles in both his personal and professional life. To restore his standing in the WWE and carry on his father's legacy, he will need the help of his family and allies, especially Paul Heyman. For Roman Reigns, the Bloodline, and WWE as a whole, the upcoming months look to be pivotal. In summary, the current circumstances between Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and the Bloodline have prepared the audience for an intriguing and intense WWE narrative. The unexpected entrance of Paul Heyman and the burial of Roman's father have given important updates and insights into their current circumstances. Fans are excitedly awaiting the next installment in this gripping story, as Roman gets ready to make his ultimate comeback to WWE. We would really appreciate your comments and ideas on these developments, so please feel free to comment with your thoughts on what you think Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and the Bloodline have ahead of them. We're talking about if Bayley and Shawn Michaels are comparable in this video. Whether she was on the main roster or NXT, Bayley has always been a mainstay of the WWE, having worked as a villain as well as a babyface. In addition to Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, Bayley has been instrumental in the development of women's wrestling. The women's division would not be as well known as it is now without these four women. Fans and Bayley have always shared a strong emotional bond. She is not like many other wrestlers in that she has always held the attention of her audience. Bayley has shown her adaptability and capacity to change up her persona, whether it be as the sweet babyface in NXT or the more seductive heel on the main roster. When Bayley realized she needed a change, she turned heel and fully remade her character on the main roster. Her career took off as a result of this adjustment. In addition, Bayley played a key role in the formation of Damage CTRL, which allowed the organization to release Dakota Kai and bring back Io Shirai, now Io Sky. She also contributed to Asuka's character being revitalized. During Clash at the Castle in Scotland, Bayley said in interviews that Damage CTRL was her idea and that she wanted to see it grow and change in line with her vision. One such interview was with Inside the Ropes. Under the direction of Triple H and Vince McMahon, Bayley has been used well. Which leads us to our topic for today. Speaking with Insider One Scotland, Bayley's opponent at Clash at the Castle for the Women's Championship, Piper Niven, previously known as Doudrop, discussed her feelings for the woman. Piper showed great love for Bayley, even though she lost the match, complimenting her skill and capacity to bring out the best in her opponents. Piper made a comparison between Bayley and Shawn Michaels, pointing out that they both have a similar ability to uplift everyone they work with. Is Bayley Shawn Michaels' female counterpart then? Let's investigate this concept more. Bayley's professional path has undergone substantial change and had a big influence on the women's division. She gained notoriety in NXT for her charming personality and contagious excitement. She gained a devoted following because of her emotionally driven and technically flawless matches. When Bayley was added to the starting lineup, she first had trouble adjusting. But her choice to become the antagonist and take on a more somber, dark attitude gave her character a fresh lease on life. One of Bayley's professional turning points was the creation of Damage CTRL. By reviving Asuka's persona and bringing back skilled wrestlers like OL Sky and Dakota Kai, Bayley showed that she could be a creative force in the division. Her imaginative ideas and vision for the faction demonstrated her in-depth knowledge of the psychology and storytelling of wrestling. Many people consider Shawn Michaels to be one of the best wrestlers of all time. Renowned for his skill in the ring, his captivating promos, and his ability to put on unforgettable matches, Michaels raised the bar in the business. The main reason Piper Niven compares Bayley to Shawn Michaels is that Michaels was known for his ability to bring out the best in his opponents. Bayley does the same thing. Bayley's matches are known for their thoughtful flow and great psychology. She might not be as well known as Shawn Michaels, but there is no denying that she can create interesting matches and give her opponents a boost. Despite having a distinct tone from Michaels, Bayley's advertisements frequently take center stage because of their intensity. This occasionally overshadows her rivals, but also emphasizes how commanding she is when speaking. Bayley's contribution to Damage CTRL's creative direction demonstrates her authority inside WWE. Her readiness to assume this role and her accomplishment in doing so demonstrate her in-depth knowledge of the industry. The women's division has benefited greatly from Damage CTRL's contributions, which include new stories and member talent showcases. Bayley has stated in interviews how crucial it was for her to contribute creatively to Damage CTRL. With this power, she was able to mold the faction into what she saw fit, guaranteeing its survival. She exhibits her leadership abilities and dedication to the women's division by striking a balance between the demands of the faction and the development of her own character. Despite losing to Bayley in their most recent match at Clash at the Castle, Piper Niven was complimentary of Bayley's skills. Piper expressed her deep respect for Bayley, praising her for her talent and pointing out that Bayley brings out the best in her rivals. Piper highlighted Bayley's ability to improve opponents' performances in the ring by drawing comparisons between her and Shawn Michaels. The conversation started today with this analogy. Piper is exactly right when she says that Bayley brings out the best in her opponents. Although Bayley's overall legacy may not yet approach that of Shawn Michaels, there is no denying her ability to push her opponents and produce interesting fights. Like Michaels, her strong points are in match planning, storytelling, and in ring psychology. Throughout her career, Bayley has demonstrated a remarkable capacity to reinvent herself and fit into many roles. Bayley has consistently managed to establish a connection with the fans, regardless of her role as a hated heel or adored babyface. Over the years, her character has remained relevant and fresh due to her desire to adapt and take innovative chances. Although Bayley isn't as revered as Shawn Michaels is, she has the ability to become one of the greatest of all time. She has had a tremendous influence on her peers as well as the women's division. It's possible that Bayley will go down in wrestling history as one of the greatest as she develops and grows. Bayley's leadership skills are demonstrated by Damage CTRL and her innovative contributions. She has demonstrated a thorough grasp of wrestling psychology and narrative by leading the faction and setting its course. Damage CTRL's accomplishments are a result of Bayley's vision and commitment. Regarding the Shawn Michaels connection, it's crucial to remember that although Bayley possesses many traits that are consistent with Michaels' heritage, she is still forging her own route. Similar to Michaels, who had a career filled with unforgettable moments and historic matches, Bayley is building her own history inside the WWE. In conclusion, there has been a lot of talk about Bayley's place in wrestling history as a result of her recent career developments and Piper Niven's accolades. Bayley has a bright future ahead of her because of her leadership in the WWE, her ability to bring out the best in her opponents, and her in-ring psychology. Bayley is quickly ascending to the status of all-time great, even though she may not yet be at Shawn Michaels' level. Please share your opinions with me regarding Bayley's comparison to Shawn Michaels and Piper Niven's remarks. Is Bayley deserving of being regarded as one of the greats? Post a comment and express your thoughts. I appreciate your time, and I hope to see you in the next video.